Dwane, I know you guys expected them to come out with some sort of intensity and effort at a high level, but you guys just didn't seem to match it in the first 8 minutes.
We didn't, and we talked about it before the game, and we knew their backs were against the wall. They were going to come out swinging, and we didn't respond in the proper way. I thought we tried to. We went to the small lineup, but then they kicked our butts on the offensive boards where they have 15 offensive rebounds. You know, it was one of those games to give them credit. They came out and did what they were supposed to do. We didn't respond. I got to do a better job of getting DeMar cleaner looks. You know, get him open a little bit better. You know, we got to do. I've got to figure out another way to try to get him better looks.
Speaking of DeMar, he kind of seemed to have one of those games where he almost like he was trying to prove a point. He wanted to kind of establish himself against Paul George and whatever game plan they have. Did you give any thought to kind of giving him a break? You know,
we did. I thought we did. And that stretch he normally is in there, we took him out in the third just to give him a blow. Again, we've got to have him playing at a high level for us to have a chance to win this series. And it's up to me and the staff to come up with something. We kind of had it figured out the last couple of games, but we got to go back to the drawing board again to get him cleaner looks. And again, when the pressure picks up like that, we've got to move the ball and we got to trust the pass and do a better job of getting other people involved when it's not going, because they're sending the kitchen sink at him. And, you know, we got to take care of the ball, 19 turnovers, to get it to the other people. So we'll figure it out. It's a 3-game series now, 2 games at our place, 1 game here, and that's what it's all about.
Dwane, between Kyle and DeMar, they're shooting about 31% for the series. That can't be all just coaching, can it? At some point, they've got to do it, don't they?
It is. It's up to me to try to get them better looks. I mean, we got to go to plan B to get we can't throw the kitchen sink of the offense out, but we got to do a better job of maybe getting them on the weak side, finding them on the weak side a little bit to get them better looks. You know, again, they're not going to continue to shoot like that. But again, one other thing too, Indiana's defense is they're doing an excellent job, and I've got to figure out a way of making sure that when they take those two out, they're giving up something else, and we got to figure that out.
Dwane, Corey and Pat, I mean, they've been a big part of everything you've done, and I mean, the bench has been huge for you. What did you see today that they just got taken away?
Corey wasn't, Corey wasn't himself. I mean, he had some unusual turnovers. Again, I think their antenna was up on Corey a little bit too, but I thought he had some uncharacteristic plays that he normally doesn't make. Again, I think those two will bounce back. You know, we got to have that group coming off the bench to give us, that punch in the arm that we just didn't get. But again, I think Doug asked at the beginning, we didn't come out with the right disposition in a game that, getting ready to go home. Their backs were against the wall. They knew they had to get this game, and we talked about that. But again, it's up. You can't talk about it. We got to go out and do it on the floor, and we didn't meet their force with our force. And the officials, it was not a closely called game. They were letting a lot of contact go. We've got to adjust to that, play through it, not get frustrated with it, and continue on.
Coach, you gave up 50 points in the paint.
Huge.
Seemed a lot of that was transition. They only had 8 fast break points, but it seemed like there was a lot of transition, early offense, random offense from them. Why couldn't you guys get back?
Well, that's the key, John. Got to get back, get down, and get set early because they were playing early. And some of those, 19 turnovers. Some of those were live ball turnovers where we didn't get back, get established. They were able to get back and play in a random situation where we didn't get back and get set. But taking care of the basketball and giving us a chance to get back and get down. That's the ball game. That happened in game 1. We didn't take care of the ball tonight, and we did in game 2 and 3, and tonight we didn't. And their defense had something to do with that. They came out. But again, it's up to us to meet that force, that intensity, that fight, that toughness with ours. And I've got to do a better job of getting our guys ready to play in that situation and play with more force and as we did in game 2 and 3.
Dwane, late in the fourth, what did you see with that altercation between Paul and Jonas down low, and then DeMar seemed to get really animated as well?
I've got to figure out how we got a technical out of that whole scrum. I mean, I know it was just two guys barking at each other, and they get a free throw. So I've got to go back and look at the tape and see what Damari did, because I didn't really get an explanation from Danny from what happened. But again, that's going to happen. A game that's not closely called, a lot of physicality, frustration. We've got to keep our head in that situation and make sure we're available to go back to our next game. That was our message to our guys. Don't lose your head. Keep you cool. Compete with poise.
Dwane, do you recall a stretch like this where Kyle and DeMar haven't been making shots at this
No, I can't, Scott. I really can't. It's one of those things that some of the credit has to go to Indiana. They're doing a heck of a job of manning up, sending a body and a half to help out, and we got to do a better job, those two, when they're not making them, find the weak side. And we've done that. We can do it, and it's up to me as a coach to find a way to get somebody available on the weak side. And then at the end of the day, that person available has got to make a shot, and that's what we got to figure out is doing that. I thought T. Ross was going to be that guy coming in. They kind of lost him over on the weak side a few times, and they lost Luis on the weak side, but we couldn't convert. But again, it's about this next 3-game series is about mental toughness, physical toughness, and playing through stuff, and playing a little bit out of our comfort zone, and that's what it's going to be about. When they turn up the energy and pressure, we got to beat them with the pass and trust the pass, and at the end of the day, that next person's got to make a play.